Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the 10 and 2 podcast. It's me, Smith Jones. For the moment, it's just me. Um, I suspect that somebody may be dropping in shortly. We'll see. Um, Another week, things have been going okay. Um, if you're watching this video, put a comment down, what I'm saying, for ideas that we could possibly use on the show. I feel like I'm echoing. Um, Give me a second, guys. Let me fix this. Yo, still feel like I'm echoing. Yo, okay, that's better. Um, like I was saying, uh, watch this video, comment below. Just let us know some things that maybe you think we should discuss. I try to explore different things. I cover some things that's really popular, and then I try to deviate. I mean, it's only so much that can be said about certain things. Like if it's something that I feel strongly about, and I have an opposing opinion, then I might you know find something that's trending. But I mean, it's kind of hard in the age of social media. I mean, everybody's talking about everything, and the one thing you always got to make sure is that you're paying attention to the source, so that okay, they got a couple valid points, but X, Y, and Z don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like you can listen. Always be careful. Always make your own determination on what you choose to accept as truth, because there's a lot of things out here that's just said to gaslight you, to get you to respond, to get you to watch, and it's okay depending on what the subject is. You know what I mean? But then it's just some things, man. It's so important for us to move forward that you really don't want to play with it unless you have a real valid reason for doing so. Or, you know what I'm saying, like you don't understand, so you're trying to reach an understanding. That's something totally different. So uh, I'm trying to kind of waste time for our other co-hosts to get in. I'll give them a couple of more minutes before we get going. But me, I'm a big sports fan. I like sports. Basketball being at the top. I don't have a team anymore. Um, just because I root for so many different players. Like if I come across a story that I find interesting, then I might follow that player and see what they're doing. Same with football. Um, I find more interest in the story and seeing the person as a human being. Understanding what they went through, what they represent, things like that. So something that I kind of seen was kind of interesting is something Stephen A. Smith was talking about. He was talking about how the LA Lakers um, built their core around three Caucasian guys. And I'll say this. At one point in time, I played basketball. And the one thing I learned about that is, man, if you could ball, you could ball. You know what I mean? Like, I, I understand that the NBA is a totally different level, but at the same time, you know, it's kind of hard to say that, what I'm saying, them guys won't find success. As far as the physicality, that's just something that they're already used to it, or they'll get accustomed to it as the season goes along. Winning the championship, I don't know. That's a totally different beast, because once teams realize your strategy and your weak spots, they're going to exploit it. So if your weakest link is your defense, but you have a strong offense, you're going to have a hard time winning a 7-game series that way. So we'll see how it go. I'm kind of 50-50 on his comment. I've played basketball with a couple of people who are not African American, and the ones who are good, they're good. They may not do the things the same way that you would do it, but they're still good, you know. And if I had to choose between them and just somebody who's just athletic and African American, I'm going to choose the person who can help me win. And it don't matter what they look like. You know, that's the same kind of philosophy I follow in life. So that's that. I guess we're gonna, I don't know. This video, the first video, it's about something that I've been trying to convey, but I think that it's hard for some people to see, you know, because if you can't see the whole picture, then you tend to think that it's discrediting you, and it's not. It's especially in the African American community. It's based off of the same beliefs, and you know, it's up to us once again to decide what's real and what's not. So we'll get started.
Which was a governmentally engineered strategy, by the way, to reduce black women's dependence on black men. Black women out-educate and out-earn us. And because black women out-educate and out-earn us, which was a governmentally engineered strategy, by the way, to reduce black women's dependence on black men because they were sending you to jail.
Damn.
See how this works? We're going to destroy the black man.
Damn.
And if we're going to destroy the black man, we got to make sure the black woman don't need him. Because if the black woman needs the black man, she will fight for him, and we cannot afford them to be united against white supremacy.
So now they smarter and they making more money than us.
The government did it on purpose. Black women don't out-earn and out-educate you because they're smarter or more disciplined.
Right.
No, they're disciplined and they're intelligent, but my point is, it's not, they're not leaping us because of that. They're leaping us because the government deliberately gave them opportunities because they didn't need them depending on you. If your woman depended on you, she goes as you go. So when they started miseducating, mass incarcerating us, the woman would have to fight because she needs us.
Right.
So we're going to make sure the black woman don't need him. Right. So when we destroy him, there's no one to fight for him.
All right. So words by the famous Umar Johnson. And when it comes to this subject, I agree. It's just very delicate how it has to be conveyed, and I think he did a good job doing that. It's not meant to discredit any accomplishments by black women, but at the same time, it's reaching a total understanding of the place that we find ourselves at. Right now, we're in a place where if we were to work together, we could cause monumental change. And I think it could be a possibility why we've having an increase in numbers of African American women losing their jobs. Because, I mean, look at it like this. All these successful women, right? Like, what if they took the initiative to invest in their counterparts? Meaning, I know this person, he hasn't done nothing wrong. I see potential in him. I'm going to reinvest in him. You know what I'm saying? Like, not because of a relationship, not because you're obligated because it's a sibling, because sometimes people just aren't up to the task. But black men in general, you know what I mean? Ones who've had situations where they find themselves incarcerated, where they got strikes against them because of how they thought the game should be played initially. And it could be easily misunderstood by someone young when you're growing up and you're hearing certain things and people around you are living a certain type of way. So it's easy for you to navigate life thinking that that's how things are. Me personally, myself, being younger, music I was listening to, a lot of things that was in my environment, I thought that life for me meant I was going to either have to be working in somebody's factory, fast food, or in the streets. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't see college as actually being an option. And what's crazy is this shift happened not when I was like a small boy. It happened right when I hit like 15, 16, 17, when I moved from underneath my mother's covering and started going out, experiencing life for myself, going to football games, hanging out with people, meeting new people, being able to go places, without my mother being around. I started seeing the world differently. And that's a very dangerous situation for a young man because, you listen to music. If you're not careful to the music you're listening to, it'll plant ideas in your head and have you feeling like you have no choice but to be a gangster or to be this type of person who gets respect by treating women wrong. It's a lot of different things that can happen. So you find yourself in that situation, and if there's not people around who invested time or watching you, you could easily find yourself behind bars, find yourself with a felony, find yourself with just a ruined name, drop out of school, never learn any skills. It's multiple things that can happen to you while you're living that life if you're not careful. So yes, it's tough to say, well, they had the same opportunities. They're men. Yeah, that's true, but you got to look at the environments. You know what I'm saying? What you're seeing. You know what I mean? Because it's hard to be different in a group of people. Some people can, but it's not always that easy. So, I mean, keep that in mind. Think about how many people you probably know right now who have displayed intelligence, have displayed all the potential in the world, but at the same time, they don't know how to get out of the starting gate. You know what I mean? They're trapped at the, I have ideas, but I don't know what to do. Me personally, myself, certain opportunities that I think I would have been great for, I wasn't able to actually commit to, not because I wasn't equipped. It was because I didn't know anyone outside of my immediate family who would be a reliable resource for that type of position. You know what I mean? Like if I wanted a job, just doing something regular, I have plenty of references for that. But something that requires a lot of responsibility, integrity, someone who can vouch for my experience delegating work or showing leadership skills, I didn't have that person. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was male or female, I didn't have that person outside of my family. So, that was a roadblock. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a roadblock sometimes now, but I'm working on that. I'm meeting people and I'm developing those resources. But I say that to say this. With as many Black men with potential, not saying all of them do, not saying that you look at everybody like they have potential. People tend to show you who they are. But the ones that you feel like have potential, imagine if a Black woman or Black women in good positions decided to reinvest in those men. And those men produce good fruit. You know what I'm saying? They go on to marry women who produce good fruit. They produce kids together. They instill morals and values inside those kids. Those kids go on to do the same thing. See, that's a cycle. That's a cycle of prosperity. That's a cycle of morals. That is a cycle of people who work together. You know what I'm saying? It's a core belief, family creeds, things that a lot of families in our community may have, but it's built on the wrong ideas. You know what I mean? So that's just something to consider. So imagine if you're this power, white supremacy. How would you stop this? I mean, the easiest way would be to incarcerate the black man. You know what I mean? And some of us walk into it knowingly, and some of us found ourselves in bad situations because of over policing, strict policies. So, you know, it's oh, what's going on? What's going on?
What's going on?
Chilling. You missed the first video. I'm gonna play it back so that you can get a good idea of where we at.
You sure? Or you just want to fill me in?
Educate and out earn us. And because black women out educate and out earn us, which was a governmentally engineered strategy, by the way, to reduce black women's dependence on black men because they were sending you to jail.
Damn.
See how this works? We're going to destroy the black man.
Damn.
And if we're going to destroy the black man, we got to make sure the black woman don't need him. Because if the black woman needs the black man, she will fight for him, and we cannot afford them to be united against white supremacy.
So now they smarter and they making more money than us.
The government did it on purpose. Black women don't out earn and out educate you because they're smarter or more disciplined.
Right.
No, they're disciplined and they're intelligent. But my point is, it's not. They're not leaping us because of that. They're leaping us because the government deliberately gave them opportunities because they didn't need them depending on you. If your woman depended on you, she goes as you go. So when they started miseducating, mass incarcerating us, the woman would have to fight because she needs us.
Right.
So we're going to make sure the black woman don't need him. So when we destroy him, there's no one to fight for him.
Yeah, so
okay.
That's where we at.
Great topic.
I was just explaining, you know, like the picture it would be if, you know, if women still had the same success, but it wasn't this war, you know, men against women type thing. You know what I mean? Like, because at one point when like all the police shootings and stuff were happening, I forgot how many. It was a while back. Like it was like this movement. Everybody was talking about stop the police violence and all that stuff, right?
Right.
And people like, oh, we need to protect our black men. You know what I'm saying? Like, if actions had been made then, I feel like, you know, we will be seeing a lot more progress. And I kind of feel like the reason why we keep banging our heads against the wall is because that's the next step. But it ain't just women supporting men. You know what I'm saying? It's like we got to support each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if we're not careful, you know what I'm saying? Like we're never going to ever get past this hump. It's like we done hit this point and we've been just fighting this same point for a while now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do agree.
You know, that's kind of what I was saying. But what's your take on it?
I mean, just like you said, I mean, the black family has been purposely divided for a long time because us being together, we're more powerful than anything. So they separate us to kind of break the foundation. However, some of us still get through with that foundation broken and still able to make something of ourselves. But it is I'm not going to say it's a hidden agenda, but it's a long agenda that's been going on for a minute. I mean, it's an age-old conversation that's constantly keep going on, and nothing has quite changed with it, if you ask me. What was your take on it? Since I missed that.
Basically, I was, you know, saying the same thing you were saying. Like, you know, like it all to me personally, and they say that this didn't really happen. The Willie Lynch letter. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was true or not, like the information provided really is, you know what I'm saying, valuable. You know what I mean? Like to a group of people who wanted to control another group, it's very valuable. You know what I'm saying? So even if it's not true, if we know about it, you know they know about it. You know what I'm saying? And if they look at it and it makes sense, why wouldn't they use it?
Right. That's the whole purpose of the, what do you call it? The school to prison pipeline.
Yeah.
That's basically what that was built for. You know, a lot of our males are either incarcerated or dead, you know, and that was to give the division so we couldn't be able to succeed, you know. And like I said, a lot of us have still surpassed, even though we didn't have the foundation that we needed. And I really think that was the reason why the projects were started, because it was exactly what it is, a project.
Right.
You know, we want to see how much we can break down y'all foundation and see where, you know, the biggest effect is, so we know how to control y'all moving forward. But yet we keep surprising time after time after time. Like, you know, y'all done been through so much. Like, y'all should be in the sane asylum, but yet y'all are still surpassing, you know, the things that we're doing. How are y'all doing it? Like, it's a whole project, and it's still going on right now.
Right. And they study the people who stuck, but you know who they study more than that?
They study the ones who got out.
Right. Because if I figure out how you got out, I can live it the ways other ones get out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And it's like this is something that we all need to, I feel like we all need to keep on the front of our minds, like when we're moving through life, when we're getting opportunities. Sure. You know what I'm saying? When we're doing things, we're trying to build stuff or whatever it is, everybody may not be in my situation. You know what I'm saying? Just because X, Y, and Z company can't hire fellas don't mean that I can't. That's their choice. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean if I got a company they got to be my choice. You know what I mean? And it's like sometimes you got people who just go with the flow. Well, this is what this group does, so I'm going to build everything I do the same way that they do. You know what I'm saying? Versus saying, let me help my people out, because you never know who may be the person to lead to the next age. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the smartest people probably somewhere feeling like they ain't got no opportunities. So, you know, it's just an interesting dynamic to look at. You know what I mean? Like
interesting, but it's still, you know, old, but it's still new because it's still going on.
You're right. And it seemed like it may die down, then it'll come right back. You know what I'm saying? And if it ain't women against men, then it's men talking down about women. It's like there's no escape from it, but it should be. You feel like over time we should be like, okay, we should be done talking about this.
And you want to know something? Due to this issue, this is how we created alpha females. Because when the man was removed from the house, you know, the female had to take on both roles. Right. And this is how you got, you know, women, powerful women, you know, that feel like they can compete with males, like they on the same level. It's because we have to do both sides. So you have this, and this is where the angry Black woman comes in at. This is where it comes from, because we have to do so much. We have to do our part, then we have to turn around and do the opposite part. And it seems like when we start complaining or, you know, feel like we have issues that we want to express, it's like, you know, just shut up and do what you got to do. But when we do that, it's like, oh, you angry, you mad, you know. But shouldn't we be?
But see,
shouldn't we be?
I can accept all of that stuff. To me, I think this is where the disconnect comes in. Okay. King or queen, as a ruler, your goal isn't just to protect the prince and the princesses. You know what I'm saying? Your goal is for the kingdom. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Regardless of male or female, if you're in power or you move like that, your responsibility is to be uplifting the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So it's like some people, male or female, they get up and they don't hold down the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? they don't create opportunities for the other people to keep the kingdom happy, then they wonder why when they look around, everybody in the room, none of them look like them. You know what I'm saying? So they still feel alone. You know what I mean? Or to get our attention, they gotta do something ratchet because you don't move so far away from your people and you really ain't gave nothing back. But you want to be a king or a queen. You know what I mean? Like you gotta play the whole game. You know what I'm saying?
Ultimately, to be a leader, you always got to stay studious. You can't get stuck in your ways.
Right.
And some of us do. And we do. We forget where we came from to where we start looking down on others that's going through similar situations that we done been through, but we've surpassed that level to where we forgot what it felt like.
Right. Right. And I think that's where the problem comes in. Because like, okay, this is me. I got kids and I'm not, you know what I'm saying, married. But if I was to reach a certain level, whatever needs to be done to put, you know what I'm saying, the mother in a better position so that she can be good with her family. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going to try to help them build that branch, even though we're not connected. Because I know you. Secondly, we have a child together. You know what I'm saying? So 2 good parents is always better than 1. And I ain't saying that I'm the best parent. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying if I was in that position, that's how I would do it.
Having a 2-parent household is way, especially when both parts are pulling their weight. It is a better structured environment.
Right. I'm talking about even if you're separate, 2 parents who are able to show up and provide, you know what I'm saying, it's still good than you know what I'm saying, mom doing all the work, she paying for everything, and dad always broke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's not good either. You know what I'm saying? Even if he show up all the time, if he still can't contribute, it still kind of looks bad because every once in a while you might hear mom saying something like, "Oh, I got to do this."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your daddy ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit. Children hear that shit. They don't forget that shit.
They don't. They don't see everything. Even when you don't think they're paying attention, they paying attention.
Yeah.
And that's why it's good for the children to see both parents happy, even if their parents aren't together.
Right. That's
why I think, was it week before last, we had a conversation of what was it? Sacrificing your happiness for your kids.
Right.
You know, being with their opposite parent, even though you're not happy, like that's still not a good environment too, because they don't never see you at your happy moments. They always see you content or just maintaining to where they never really get to know who you are. And then they're going to think that is how it's supposed to be, and it really isn't. And that's still not a good example.
Right. I'm talking about even if it's like I was saying before, even if you show up, you know what I'm saying? You show up for the birthday party and you can't get them what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like even if the mom gets it, it's still not the same. Like your energy ain't going to be the same. And children, they can feel that. You know what I'm saying?
They can.
Right. And even like inside of their family, like beyond the mother and father, like anybody that they deal with, let's say they like chilling with their cousins, but their cousins is doing worse than you. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna see that. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna develop this. You hope that they don't, but they might develop this thing of, well, my house better than yours. You know what I'm saying? Or the kids that got less want to always come to the other person. You know what I'm saying? And the mom be like, they ain't coming over here tearing up our stuff. You know what I'm saying?
You had cousins like that. You had cousins like that. That was in the project. You used to love to go over there. And then when they come to your house, it's a whole different story. Like they would low-key be jealous because you had more things that they had. But in your eyes, you had more fun at their house, not having less than what you did at your house. It was like they wanted to be in your shoes, but at the same time, you wanted to be in their shoes. Especially if you was in like a better neighborhood, but your kid, not your kids, your parents were a little bit overbearing and more protective versus they, mamas over there, y'all can do what y'all want to do, as long as y'all don't get on their nerves type thing.
Right.
So it was like a catch-22 situation, if you will.
Yeah. And then you gotta think about how that affects, you know what I'm saying, the child, because like stuff like that, it'll cause tension between the parents. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, kids, or my kids ain't, you too good for my kids to come to your house. You know what I'm saying? It starts building up these different emotions, man. And okay, and here's my thing, right? Like, I've been blessed, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I know how I would act in certain situations. Like if my sibling was like struggling, I'm like, yo, I don't know if I can fix your situation, but yo, man, we can fucking try. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta go at this alone. You know what I'm saying? What can I help you get done? What can we do? You know what I'm saying? Because a better you is a better me. You know what I'm saying? I like to see you with a smile on your face. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Well, I like to know, even if we ain't talking, you're somewhere doing good. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how I see it. But it's one of those things that just keeps making room for conflict. You know what I'm saying? When you're not moving that way, because if a person is trying to help you and it's just not working out, you can't feel like nobody's trying to help you. You know what I'm saying? At least okay, people are trying to help. For some reason, it ain't working out. Versus, you may get that feeling where don't nobody really care. You know what I'm saying? So I might well just be this way. You know what I'm saying? And that's, if it's not a productive way to be, if it's not beneficial to bettering the situation, then you know what I'm saying, you kind of going in the wrong direction.
Right.
So it's very weird.
Tell me about it.
So that's just, I don't know. I kind of picked this video just because of that part. And I've been seeing lately that it's because it is such a powerful mechanism that it's not going to stay just in our community. You know what I'm saying? It's going to spill over, and I can't say it's going to be every community.
It's already spilling over.
It's spilling over, especially in the Caucasian community. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's spilling over there.
Because now their kids want to be in the hood. They want to be in the projects.
Right, like why? I can see.
We make it look good. We make it look good, even though it's not. We still find ways to be happy in the situations that we're in, and they wondering like, "Dang, like how?" We want to know. Like that. That's really how it is.
Until they get in trouble, and look, until they get in trouble with somebody else's kid that's black. And when it's time to get a lawyer, they get a good one.
Yeah.
You got to get a public defender. They get off, and you get something on your record. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly how it be. Yeah. Exactly how it is.
I know. Trust me. But it's crazy, man. Like and then like the families, you know what I'm saying? Like you find a lot of Caucasian women now, you know what I'm saying, like carrying the same emotion about men and stuff like that. Like we going in the opposite direction. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about
some of them, they chose, what they wanted to do. A lot of them wanted to know what it was like to be with a black man, and then got there, and now you see what it is.
Right.
Not saying all of them, but I'm just saying a lot of them go through similar situations that our black women are going through right now. Not having them there, raising a child by yourself. You wanted to know. There it is. But it's only because of the plan for them. Like they only had two places to go. Purposely. They're forcefully only have two places to go, and very few of them make it out of that.
Right, right. But like even in the couples where both of them are Caucasian, you know what I'm saying? Like the mindset of working together, trying to make this happen together, holding our family together. It's like all that stuff is eroding. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying in previous episodes, you know, once upon a time it was like one person work, other person go to school. You know what I'm saying? Like vice versa. We no matter which way it go, you know what I'm saying? We working together to try to get both of us to another level. And it's like now everybody want everything microwave. Like I'm here.
For gratification.
Yeah, I'm here, but you're not. And instead of waiting for you to get here, I'm just gonna go find somebody else because I'm no longer happy. You know what I'm saying? Forget the fact that we got a family built. You know what I'm saying? Forget all the things we done built together, all the promises we done made. Forget our vow that we made. I want something better. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it's not even better. It's just it's easier and it's cheaper. You know what I'm saying? Those are the only two things. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's totally crazy. But so like how do you think is the best way for us to move past this type of thinking?
I have to unlearn and relearn. A lot of the things that we were taught wasn't true. So we literally gonna have to unlearn and relearn a lot of things. Like I said, the reason why majority of us are here right now is to change some of these generational curses. We're not going to be able to change all of them, but the ones that we can change, we need to do so, and then teach the next generation on how to, you know, break the ones that we can, or at least create the start of the foundation of the next few that need to be broken for the next generation. That's really what we're here for. That's literally what we're going to do. And some of us are going to be able to do it. Some of us are still going to be on that hamster wheel, you know, still doing the same thing. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where I'm at, man. Like my first goal is figuring out how to get myself off the hamster wheel and staying. You know what I mean? Because one and I still try to help along the way. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like this. If we all trapped in a cage, instead of me trying to figure out how to get myself out, wouldn't it be a lot easier if three of us were trying to figure out how to get out? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Two
That
of us,
is
five
true.
of
But
us.
you don't have some that just want to stay asleep. And those are going to be the ones that you're not going to be able to save. You're going to try your damnness to do so, but you're going to realize that you're going to be carrying dead weight. And until you are able to release some of that weight, a lot of the things that you're trying to do are not going to come forth because you're attempting to take people that's not supposed to go. And that is the very hardest thing that we're going to have to realize, because some of the people that are not supposed to go, we are flabbergasted because those are the actual ones that are not supposed to go. And we're going to be like, damn, like, I really thought you was going to be at the top with me. Like, I really want you to be at the top with me. However, they're not meant to go. And until we can realize that those individuals are not going to be able to go, we're going to stay on that hamster wheel attempting to help save them too.
Yeah, I get that. But I guess the way I was trying to say it is like I'm not even talking about the people who want to stay. I'm talking about the people who want to get out. They just don't. They want to get out by themselves. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Like we trying to escape, but we all trying to escape in our own way.
That's
You
the
know what I'm
crab in
saying?
the barrel situation.
Yeah, like, bro, what do you? You know what I'm saying? Like, we could be
Yeah.
exchanging ideas and actually come up with a plan to escape, but we all trying to figure out how to
Do it separately instead of coming together and doing it together.
right. Like one person done drew a map, one person got a shovel. You know what I'm saying?
And you want to know something? The thing is that is the actual blueprint. That like that's the blueprint that we should be following, because other cultures do that. You know, they send one to school to go be a lawyer, one to go be a doctor, one to go to the military. Like they implement individuals to go to certain areas so they can bring back that information and be able to assist their community,
Right.
you know, how it's supposed to be. That's the part that we don't understand. That right there. That's the dynamic that we don't understand. And when we actually have a good understanding of that and can be able to do it like that, we're not going to be able to mesh, if that makes sense.
Nah, it make a lot of sense, and you're right about that. Like, it's supposed to be that way. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I guess we done been taught so much that we ain't supposed to have nothing, that when we get an opportunity to get something, we just go right for what we want instead of something that may be best for all of us. You know what I'm saying?
Or the situation present itself and you still in the mind frame like, I'm not supposed to have this. And you're
Right.
speaking negative over yourself to where it turns out that you don't get it. Instead of when the opportunity comes, you align yourself to be able to receive it.
Right.
That, I think that is where we get hung up on, because when it actually comes, it's like it's almost too good to be true type thing, to where you done tricked yourself out your spot because you didn't think that it was going to come. We've had those moments too.
Oh yeah. I ain't never tricked myself out of my spot, but I've definitely put myself in positions where I wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? So,
But you learned a lesson though. It wasn't a
Oh, yeah.
loss. You learned a lesson. So when it does come back around, you know how to handle it.
right. So yeah. But I guess it's just like somebody got to start from somewhere, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just all this individual me and mine type thing, but we all live in this world together. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say you can do as good as you want. You can raise your kids as good as you want to raise them. But unless you can isolate them from the have-nots and the people with bad spirits and the people with the lies and morals, they still gonna have to deal with them at some point. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know what their outcome may be. You know what I'm saying? You, like me, I got a daughter, right? No matter how good she is raised, if she chooses to go and hang out in a place she don't need to be, she's putting herself at risk. You know what I'm saying? Not just her reputation, but like her life in general, period. Her freedom, because she, you know what I'm saying? It's so many different things. So like it's like you
But
gotta
see,
be
a lot of the stuff that our kids go through, we done been there. And I think where we fall short is we assume that they're never going to meet those situations, or we try to protect them from those situations instead of showing them how to maneuver in those situations. And I think that's where we fall short.
right. And the best, to me, the best way to teach them is by letting them see you make an effort to eliminate those situations. You know what I'm saying? Like, your kid respects a hardworking person if they see you, you know what I'm saying, hiring people. You know what I'm saying? They see you running a business. They respect entrepreneurs. You know what I'm saying? They know what one look like. You know what I'm saying? Because you were one. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. All that stuff matters. You know what I'm saying? But if they see you just make money and isolate yourself, then either they're going to reject that because they don't want to be isolated, or they're going to be isolated just like you. You know what I'm saying? It's almost it's a wheel, man. And
it is.
I see the problem, and I'm sure other people see the problem. It's just, I don't know how you
people see the problem. They just don't want the solutions. We're here looking for the solutions. But it's
what I'm
people
saying.
that see the problems and even actually know the solution, but don't want to put in the work to see if the solution is the actual solution.
Right. And I guess that's what kind of and I'm not the only person thinking like this, because there's plenty of foundations and organizations with purposes like this. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But like, when you reach a certain point and you say, okay, I'm good. How do I try to help make this world a better place for people who come after me? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
like some people don't even think about how their kids' lives going to be after they're
Right.
gone. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? They don't even consider that. They just like, well, we here now. I'm good
Yeah.
now, and I'm trying to get you grown. And after you grown, it's on you to figure it out.
Yeah, but we're not always gonna be here. That's why we need to teach them the codes to the game before we go. That way they know how to maneuver when we're not here.
Right. Because the world may not even be as easy as it is now. It might be 10 times harder. You know
It
what I'm
is
saying?
gonna be 10 times harder.
Yeah. So
That's
like,
no ifs, ands, or buts or coconut.
right. So out of all those foundational things that you can try to give, like you can't make them accept it. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
But you can always have it on the table. Like, yo, this is what you can get from me. You know what I'm saying? If you
Right?
choose to take advantage of it, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? It's on you, but it's been
Mhm.
offered. You know what I'm saying? You can't walk around feeling like nobody offered you no help. You know what I'm saying? Or I just brought you in here, let you get in a ton of debt, mess up your life, and I left you by yourself. You know what I'm saying?
And that's how a lot of people end up too.
Yeah, yeah. Because they were trying to figure it out by themselves. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And I'm gonna tell you the truth, like being young, like when I was young, man, the first thing I went and got, I'm older. I went and got a bill, you know what I'm saying, for like a beeper. You know what I'm saying? It was right before you know what I'm saying? Beepers went out of style.
Tell your age.
I don't care. But like right before they went
The
out of
beepers,
style.
the clear
Yeah.
ones, the clear beepers,
Right before they
phone,
said
cell phone.
it wasn't even really a beeper. It was one of the kind that you text.
Which
You
kind of
technically say
the
it's a beeper, but you text on it. But anyway, that's a bill.
sidekicks?
Yeah, but think about it, that's a bill. You know what I'm saying? And that was, and to tell you the truth, I don't even know. I think my mom ended up giving me money to pay it off because if I
Uh-huh.
hadn't, you know what I'm saying, I didn't have a job, but I would do little stuff to pay it,
Yeah.
but it wasn't nothing that was consistent. So
Mhm.
I'm already taking steps to ruin my credit. You know what I'm saying? Early.
Yeah.
Same thing with credit cards. Like as soon as you turn 18, they ready to send you a credit card. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and think about
They
this.
can do it before you turn 18. They ready for
Right.
you to fuck up your credit.
Yeah, and if your parents ain't taught you about money, or they're always struggling, or they're already struggling themselves, so they can't give you nothing when they offer you that credit card. What you gonna do? You gonna take it? Already plugged into the worst part of the game. If you can't
Or
pay
better yet,
that bill,
look, let's talk about the parents that put bills in their children name. Then when they turn
uh,
18, their credit already done for.
yeah, that's crazy.
That was me when I say my mama had several bills in my name.
Yeah, that's tough right there, man. That's tough.
Diabolical.
Yeah, because it's already starting you off on the wrong foot. Because you
Mm-hmm.
had to you had to figure out how to undo all that, didn't you?
So did. So did. I mean, a lot of it fell off,
Uh-huh.
but still, I had to do like some work on it. I
Right,
wasn't able to fuck up my credit on my own.
right.
You know, then I had to fix that first. You know, and let them know I wasn't even of age when half of this stuff went on. I mean, we ought to go ahead and fix that. But yeah, it was something. It was
Yeah.
something.
And then, okay, let's talk about this thing. I don't even know if you're to this point yet, but me, I'm to the point where like now, you know what I'm saying, my kids about to go to college, and both of them
I ain't quite
are
30.
doing, yeah,
Mama
they both they taking the route that I took. Like I went to community college just so I know, okay, for one, it's paid for two, it's going to tell me whether or not I even got what it takes to even waste money or get a loan to go to, you know what I'm saying, a university or whatever. So they're doing that, but I'm still thinking like, okay, while they're doing this, how do I position them, or how do I position myself so that I don't incur debt that's going to be here after I'm gone, or they don't incur debt that's going to be here after they're gone. You know what I'm saying? Because just because you go to college don't mean you getting the job that you went to college for. You know what I'm saying? You might make far less than what that degree is supposed to get you. You know what I mean? But you're going to have the same amount of debt. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just be thinking about stuff like that. Like, how do we do this? And I'm not the only person to think about this. And I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people right now who are, you know what I'm saying, paying for their own student loans along with the student loans of their children. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we need to be figuring out how do we eliminate that? Or how do we start businesses that allow us or allow one to go to college, but gives them the ability to employ the other ones? You know what I'm saying? Versus we all go to college and then we all in debt. You know what I'm saying? Because like as a collective, you still really ain't got money if you still owe somebody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you could spend it, but in reality, if you owe, then you're still in debt. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just, I don't know, man. It's a lot of parts, man, that I feel like would be easier to tackle if we work together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you know, community efforts to help out the homelessness. You know what I'm saying? Try to figure out how we can create some type of job where, you know what I'm saying, even if it ain't nothing but like, you know, they work enough to, you know what I'm saying, have a roof and food. You know what I'm saying? Even if we got to go together and buy one of these abandoned hotels, you know what I'm saying, and fix it up. And you know what I'm saying, let them work. And if they don't want to be there, they ain't got to be there. Go. We'll find somebody who really want to be here. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, we trying to make something happen. Like, I mean, who knows what idea can turn into something that gets adopted on a major level. So, you know, I kind of feel like, you know, that's a lot of different things that we missing, man.
Yeah.
But that's enough on that, because I do understand it's a holiday weekend, so we're gonna go ahead and move into the next subject.
Don't do that, babe. I'm not a slave. I was never a slave. I don't know how slaves cook. I was never a slave. I know where my grandfather came from, my great grandfather, and where all their ass came from. Your ass don't even know. You part of this African side they see is more of a ratio that we're honestly doing well. They just feel like you guys are just not doing much.
Parents are from New York.
Americans, they don't know where they're from, you know.
I think American black people are the most lost black people in the world.
My parents are both from Grenada. They came here in the 80s and 90s. So what he was saying about how they think that black people are lazy does resonate with me, because I've heard that a lot.
Don't go and talk to those black Americans. You just go and get pregnant. You get into drugs. You start become gang banging. Just go to the white community, find a nice place. Just go and be decent. Stay with the white people.
We don't want them here.
They're your brothers and sisters.
They're not our brothers.
You American? Dirty black American?
Why you say that?
Because that's what you are. Dirty black American. I did. A dirty black American. I sure did.
The reason why Africans have this negative connotation on African Americans is because of the stereotypes, what they're seeing on TV.
My father's side of the family looked at black Americans a certain way, and they already had in their mind, whether they said it on social media or not. And we could sit here and make it seem like it's an illusion, but all other groups.
Hold on. Before we go any further, right?
Please.
She just said dirty black Americans.
Dirty black Americans. Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's real crazy.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into it now. I'm gonna finish it, but that was just crazy.
Look, pinpoint that.
Of black people, which we're all black, we tend to look down on black Americans.
It's just a way to push this stereotype, to give other cultures the green light to be disrespectful towards black Americans.
But you also have to look at the statistics. What is it showing? Like, if I was to be with an American man, just any typical man, 9 out of 10, I'm probably going to be a baby mama.
I had a conversation with my boy literally right before I got here. And then when I got on my phone with my boy, he was like, nah, think about it, Rich. English, there's plenty of Haitians who say vieux salope. In Creole, that means like dirty or bad. Black Americans.
Why is it so easy for everyone to attack the culture of Black Americans?
The thing is, we share our culture with everybody. We're too damn nice.
Too damn nice.
That's been the problem, because whenever we do something, we say, okay, we chop it up to just global Africanness.
I'm sorry, I can't do Americans. I need somebody with culture. I'm sorry.
Black Americans got culture. Americans got culture. Keep rolling.
I need somebody with culture.
Americans don't have culture.
Y'all got culture?
We got the culture. We are the culture.
Yeah. I do have this conversation a lot with Africans or even just Caribbean people who will often look down on Black Americans. Number one, they will say they lazy, they ghetto. I've heard African parents tell their kids not to date African American men, not to marry them, things of that nature. What are some negative stereotypes y'all heard about Black Americans from your parents, from your friends?
You literally said it all.
Yeah.
That's it? Yeah, 100%.
Right.
Like my mom would tell me not to marry now.
Yeah.
Right.
She says it all the time.
There is no reason on this earth for anybody that's not from the Caribbean to be at Carnival. And I don't care how y'all feel on the subject. Y'all know I love Jada Waiter. But what the do her and her American friends know about Carnival? Some things do need to be private, and they do need to be just to the people who it needs to be for.
What do y'all feel like y'all should do in order to know where you guys come from? Are you guys doing the DNA?
We're telling you. No, we're
Africa
telling you we're from America.
So
That's
you
it.
are still
Like, that's-
enforcing us to have to prove to you that we're Black enough or we're African enough. We don't feel like we need to do that.
Isn't that disrespectful?
All my who are not cultured at all. That is black. You're black. You're just black. You're just fully American. You're African American, bro. That wasn't an.
I'm gonna stop one more time, and then I'm gonna play the rest of it. Like the whole way he dressed, come from hip hop.
Right.
But I'm gonna keep the video going though.
Insult. That was strictly you're black. You're not Trinidadian. You're not Jamaican. You're not African. You're not Ghanaian. You're not Dominican. You're not Puerto Rican. You're not Cuban. You are American.
African Americans in this country are the only groups. They have no culture.
But currently, there's not an African American culture.
No, you have no culture. Nancy, you've been here, born here. Why would you be surprised if I say African Americans don't have a culture? What, twerking?
Where you from?
I'm from Queens.
Queens?
Yeah.
Where your family from?
Here.
So you're American, you straight American. You got no
Basically.
culture?
Well, not like that. Don't be shady.
Man, that's nasty.
So I was having a conversation with a friend yesterday, and we were talking about Caribbean cultures, and Black American culture came up, and he was talking about how, Black Americans don't have a culture.
Yeah.
That's
Where you want to start?
Let's start from the beginning. Let's start with this.
You want to start with Dirty Black Americans?
Yeah. And
when I say that video it has so many levels that it don't make any sense. Let's start with Dirty Black Americans. First of all, it makes me feel some type of way when somebody from another country wants to come over here and call us Dirty Black Americans. Because if we're so dirty, then why did you come over here? If we don't have a culture or anything going on, why did you want to come here? Why didn't you stay where you were? We have a culture, and it's not about twerking. And to be honest, if we want to really, get into it, twerking is necessarily not a dance. It's actually invoking the ancestors if you really want to talk about it. We have a culture. We definitely have a culture. And the thing is, our culture is bit so much to where it looks like it's not ours anymore. And we are. That's what got us in the predicament that we were in, is that we were too friendly. We were too open. Certain things should have been gatekept. Certain things should have been private. But we were so open with certain things that it really cost us a lot. And a lot of us wasn't brought over here on that boat. A lot of us were already here. Granted, we're not fully African. No, we are mixed with Native. We are mixed with, Spanish, South American. We have a lot in us, yes. And I hate that we're looked at as lazy because this thing that we call America was built on our backs. It was built on our ancestors' backs. And the thing is, slavery for some of us, it only go back 3 generations. Mine specifically goes back 3 generations. 3 generations ago, my people was in slavery. Like, just
I get it. I'm gonna start with this.
go ahead.
As far as African Americans and Africans knowing each other, it's kind of like what I was saying about going to stay to your cousin's house and they ain't got a lot of money. Except for the fact that we both the cousins that ain't got a lot of money. Because growing up, what I saw was about Africa, because I don't know nobody, because back then people from Africa, they might have been in the big cities, but they weren't as abundant as they are now.
Definitely.
So we saw the telethons where send $1 a day to help feed this starving African child with flies around their mouth. Nobody wants to be an African in America if that's all you see.
And see, that's all that we were shown. They showed us the most impoverished parts of that continent when it really wasn't like that. And vice versa. On their side, they only showed the impoverished places that we had. They didn't show the individuals that were actually successful. So we were played on both sides to play against each other.
Yeah. So, and if you saw a movie, you saw a black person being the crook, the criminal, or the cooning. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they saw. You know what I mean? So it's like they basing their belief off of what they saw, and we basing our belief off of what we saw and what we're discovering now. Because I'm pretty sure it's a lot of black people who deal with Africans because they're here. You know what I'm saying? They come here, we get to know each other, because everybody I know personally that deal with Africans, that's not the story that they don't even say stuff like this. They work together because they've actually built a relationship and now they know each other. You know what I'm saying? Like ones I work with personally, initially, they say stuff like, what you like to drink 40s and Hennessy and party. That's what they say initially. I'm being 100% honest with you. And I was like, and I say the same answer every time. I say, yo, that's on TV. You know what I'm saying? And it may be in some places. I'm not like that. I don't even like Hennessy. You know what I'm saying? And over time with them dealing with me and talking with me, then they start to realize, okay, all black people.
That's what they told me.
Yeah, they ain't the same. But you got to build that relationship though. You know what I'm saying? You can't just, just jump on it like I'm gonna treat him like he's African because he's from Africa, because a lot of them have real strong values that I respect and that I was taught. This the same type of values. But the funny thing about the whole thing is, right, when they talk about culture, right? Ask them their religion. Most of it is Christianity. Where did that come from?
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, we might have lost all of our culture, but at the same time, they done started taking away y'all's too, and y'all still over there. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of Africans that I do know, a lot of their religion is Muslim. Like a lot of them are Muslim. Surprising.
But same thing though.
Yeah. It's the same concept. I mean,
I'm talking about like when you go back to the date where it's supposed to be originated, it was stuff before that. Still, you know what I'm saying? So what's before that? You know what I'm saying? Because that's the crazy part, right? Is I never met an African who can tell me what happened before those religions. You know what I'm saying? So you still reach your point of disconnect may run deeper than mine, but it still got a cutoff point apparently. You know what I'm saying?
And you want to know something that I heard? You want to know something I heard? And I haven't really ran into an actual African that has admitted it, but I have heard like when they do come over here, like they kind of coerce them, like, you know, you might want to, you know, find a partner that is Caucasian or Asian or something of a different background besides melanated. Like they kind of entice them to go that route. If that makes sense.
They might.
To be honest, I don't consider myself an African American. I don't. And the only reason why I don't consider myself an African American is because before we were free, you know, we were considered 3/4 of a man. A black man was considered 3/4 of a man. So I don't even consider myself an African American. So honestly, when they talk about African Americans, I'll be looking around like, what you talking about? 'Cause I ain't part of the crew.
Well, look,
I'm melanated.
I got an answer for that 3/4 thing and why it is true. Why it is true. I'm gonna tell you why it's true, right?
Why it's true?
Because if God created man in his own image,
okay,
if black man was the first man, then he more God than he is man.
True.
There you go.
Okay.
That missing part ain't monkey. It's God. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody
yeah, that's why them little things like that, it don't really bother me. And I think that's the biggest problem is that's the difference that separate them from us. Is they got more knowledge of self than we do. That's the only separator. Because like once a person gets knowledge of self, they respect themselves more. They respect how they look to others. They respect how they move. They want to move with integrity. You know what I'm saying? They move with dignity. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like they have to be that way because that's who they are. They're moving in their greatness. And a lot of people just don't see that in themselves, especially in America. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's really the biggest case because most people you meet from Africa, like they're well spoken. They know multiple languages, but that's the benefit. But hold on, but that only benefits from the fact that America try to make everybody know their language in order to do business with them. You know what I'm saying?
But you know, the English language is basically a spell book, and they get certain things from different languages to create the English language. They use a little bit of Spanish. They use a little bit of Greek. What else? Greek, French, Spanish to create the English language.
And here's the I'm not knocking any country in Africa or nothing like that, but you gotta look at it like this though, right? If you're coming here and in your country, it's been exploited by not just the white man or American, it's been exploited by almost every other major superpower in the world. You know what I'm saying? So how much of your culture is still really yours? Can you really say that? You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of those countries had all the natural resources, abundance of people, but they were still in poverty. Now you had all the resources and all the people. We were slaves trapped behind enemy lines over here. Why you got to come over here for a better life when you had everything that we was never given there?
But we dirty though. But you want to come over here and do what we doing? But we dirty. So what does that make you?
That's all. I mean, them the only answers to the questions I want to know because that'll solve the whole riddle. You had everything that we never had. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we right now, it's supposed to be multiple countries in Africa that could be considered an upcoming superpower right now at this moment. But instead, you know what I'm saying? They're behind because they don't let other countries come in and build stuff. They don't let them come in and divide each other. You know what I'm saying? Based off of who knows different, all these other things, the same things they did to us. You know what I'm saying? It's the same things. So, you know, it's like everybody want to be above. Like, yo, we done been exposed to the same type of things, except for the fact that y'all had more resources than we did. Actually, way more resources. And we just get to the point now where a lot of these countries are trying to run the foreigners, you know what I'm saying? Like the foreign powers out, not the foreign people, but, you know, people coming in, doing work, but putting the countries in debt. Now they're trying to run them off and do their own thing. You know what I'm saying? But that's what you're supposed to have been done. If you had been doing that, a lot of these black families here, if they had saw Africa growing, instead of buying houses here, they would have just took their kids once they set up money to buy a house and went there. But why you gonna go there if all you see is people on TV starving? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the whole thing. Like, we not behind. We had to beat a certain amount of things before we could even get to the position we at now, and we still suffering from the effects. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure when my mom made certain decisions in her life, she felt like, yo, well, I'm here in America. She didn't have no other option if she ain't like it here. You know what I'm saying? It won't nobody over there saying, oh, bring your family to Africa. You know what I'm saying? She saw the same thing I saw on TV. They starved over there.
The thing is, in Canada, they have a lot of like billboards and stuff like go to Africa, like this is where you should go. We don't get that here, but there they get that. Like, you know, that's the place to be. That's the place that you should go. But over here, it's like, nah, don't go. It's impoverished. This, that, and the third. You're not going to survive. It's so many diseases over there. This, that, and the third. And it's all a gimmick. It's all. If we were all to be like, you know what? Let's all just leave and go back to the motherland today. Like, if we all just got up and decided to do that, don't you know that they would literally hold us here?
Yeah, they would. And look,
because if we all decided to leave, like,
and look,
everything will come crumbling down.
If they couldn't find a constitutional law to keep us here, they would create a war and just ban travel.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like,
yeah.
Like it's crazy, man. And
like we all can get pardoned. Ghana already said it. Come home, please. Come home.
And what's crazy is these people that's talking this video, right? They seem to be really, you know, they well spoken, but it made me question their intelligence. And you know,
very much so. Very much so.
Yeah, like, what are you really? Like, where is this coming from? Like, I can understand where your parents might say that because they probably saw, you know what I'm saying, us in these roles and on TV and stuff like we were saying before. I understand why they think that, but now their information is so accessible. You done seen Barack Obama. You done seen the Michael Jordans. You done seen the prominent black people in America.
I'm gonna tell you why their parents are like that. The same way our parents was. Like, back in slavery, in order to keep the family, like, say, you know, your child show abilities to be more than just a field slave. Maybe they shown that they could be a blacksmith, or they shown that, you know, they had gifts that could assist in other things. You know, when the master seen that, he would probably sell them or go send them somewhere else. And when our parents caught on, they would literally purposely make us dumb ourselves down. Like, don't do that. Don't show that. You know, or, you know, you might get taken. And that created a mindset of not really living up to your full potential type thing. You kind of get what I'm saying? Just to kind of keep everybody close, you know, and that went on from generation to generation to where half of us just naturally don't even live up to our full ability because we feel like it may take away from other places to where we can,
get us beat by master.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I feel like that has what happened on the other side. If that makes sense.
Yeah, like they didn't want to come up because they were worried about somebody attacking them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least they were fighting for something. At least the land they fought for would have been theirs. You know what I'm saying? Right. The resources they were fighting for, it was already theirs. You know what I'm saying? The culture that they would fight to preserve would be theirs. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be replaced with somebody else's. You know what I'm saying? That's way more noble than coming over here and talking down to the people who were taken and enslaved. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, you're supposed to be coming over here like, yo, now that we here, brothers and sisters, let's figure out how we can change this thing and fix back home.
Mm-hmm.
It did. That's why I said it's crazy, man. Like a lot of other countries do that. They come over here to the United States. They'll get with people from their own culture that live over here, and they'll find ways to build stuff here, send money back, take ideas from here, take it over there. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's always different when it comes to us. We want to sit here and talk about why we not the same. How many people you think? Well, I guess it's because of slavery, but that can only go so far, man. I just never seen no Mexican mad at a Mexican because one was born in the U.S. and the other one was born in Mexico.
No, they know how to come over here and group together. They be in a daggone 2-bedroom apartment with like 12 people. And when I say they start building, like they saving, like one thing I do know in the African community here that I know of, like literally they'll group together. They do the same thing as the Spanish people do. They'll group together, get an apartment, 3-bedroom. It'd be like 10 people in there. And the thing is, they group their money together. Like 1 month, we're going to give this to Ibrahim.
Yeah.
We're going to get a certain amount. And then next month, we're going to do such and such, such and such. To where they are spreading around, you know, the income that they are getting. Yeah, I've seen it back home. They truly will, because $100 here is like $1,000 over there.
Right. And over here, right now at this point, it's hard to get 5 people to do what you said.
And the 5 because somebody gonna get jealous. Somebody gonna get jealous.
And the 5 that do, you got to worry about them wondering, I want my money first. You know what I'm saying? And if they get the money first,
or you get one that gets the money and then don't want to pour back into the pot.
Right.
Like, I can't even do it this month, bro. Like I got this, that, and the third because you're telling me to live above your means.
Right.
And now you can't give back like you're supposed to. And you want to know something? During COVID, it was something that was going around like that in my community. It was called the Fufu Nunu something, where each person they'll get like 10 people, and it's like a flower. It's like 8 on the outside or 6 on the outside, and then you have 4 on the inside, and you have 1 in the middle. And everybody will pour in, and whoever is in the middle, they'll get that full amount. And then they'll do it all again until everybody gets to that middle. And I did that twice. I never got to that middle. And I did this with people that was in the church, like pastors, deacons, this, that, and the third. Never got to that middle.
Well, basically, all it really is saving your money, because you got to put your money right back. Like the amount of time it takes you to get that money back, you could have just take that same money and put it in the bank every month. You know what I'm saying? It's just that you're getting it all right in at one time. You know what I'm saying? Without having to waste time saving. But at the same time, you got to give it back. You know what I'm saying? So,
but see, I was attempting to do it with people like us, hoping that, like, I was in the mind frame of like the Spanish community is, like helping out each other. And with us, we're like crabs in a barrel. Like, we can't do it.
Right.
Do it. Now you're gonna find very few individuals that are able to do things like that, but they are so hard to find. Or you have some that's still like that, but they have been tarnished or, you know, burnt behind other individuals to where they are hesitant to do it with anybody else.
Yeah, to do something like that, I think you should only use like 4 people.
Yeah.
That way the money come back around fast. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you start hitting 5 and 6, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you're doing it every month, that means you got to go 6 months before it's your turn again. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't want to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if they get the money first. You know what I'm saying? They get the money first, boy. They might change the number. I mean, something could actually really, really happen. For real.
They change the number.
Yeah. Something could really happen though. Like their car could break down. They could lose their job. Like a lot of different things could happen within that 6 month time. So like, you know, it's got to be somebody.
When you get yours, you go ahead and set aside what you're supposed to put back in, so you'll be able to do it over again. That's
But
what
it's
you're
the same.
supposed to do.
It's the same money though. Like you're not getting any extra money.
Uh-huh.
Like basically, the smart thing to do is put that shit in the bank and wait, and don't spend it until you get it the second time. That means if you're doing like 4 people, the first time you get it, you save it, and then when you get it again in 4 months, you spend the first one. So that way, regardless of what happened, you got the money to always pay your part back in. See, a lot of people don't do that. They get, let's say you do it for $1,000, 10 people, $1,000. One person get that 10 grand, they gonna start spending it. But then when it's time to get back that $1,000 every month though, and they ain't got it no more, they're like, damn, I gotta pay $1,000 10 times. Yeah, you do. That's what everybody else did for you to get yours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you just say the 10 grand and say, okay, next year I'm gonna take this 10 grand and invest in that. I can't do it this year. You know what I'm saying? Unless I come up with another 10 grand. You know what I'm saying? If I come up with another 2 grand, I can do it because I still got 10 grand, regardless of what happened, to pay it back. Because it's still just a loan.
Yeah. But I'm saying, if you're doing it month by month, when you get yours, go ahead and put that $1,000 back in. That way you don't have to worry about next month because you just did it for next month.
Yeah, I mean, you really just take 9,000.
Basically.
Yeah, but you still wait for the second time around before you actually spend it.
Right.
That way, you know what I'm saying? That way you keep it going, because if you don't pay it, they're gonna kick you out.
Mm-hmm.
So you better off not spending it, sitting on it, and when it come back around, spend the first you say the next one. You know what I'm saying? And like that way, you always got enough to keep it going. And every, you know what I'm saying? But now you want a cycle where you can spend this every time around. But you know, it's hard, man. It's hard to get anybody to do something like that. But you get somebody 10 grand, but they blowing that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They already got it spent.
See, that's what we fuck up at. We get money like that and be trying to live like the Joneses instead of reinvesting. That's the issue.
Right. But I mean, but when it comes to investing, depending on what you're trying to start, man, 10 grand, boy, that shit can go fast. And believe it or not, that be hampering a lot of people too. Like they may have a little bit more than what it takes to start something, but not enough to get it over the finish line.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You can hit somebody up like, yo, bro, I'm trying to start this business, man. Man, I'm gonna tell you the truth, dog. All I need is like $3,000 more. You know what I'm saying? The building is, you know what I'm saying? The building 15, you know what I'm saying? That'll cover me for the first 6 months. The supplies is X amount. You know what I'm saying? So like all my money is spent. But this $3 grand right here will sustain me because all the bills already paid other than like electricity and stuff like that. And a lot of people won't even contribute. Like, yeah, I don't know, bro. That $3 grand is a lot of money. Like, dog, don't you know if you sit down and you write a contract and you get both of y'all sign it, and then you get it notarized that they legally binding to pay you that money back, and if they don't pay you back, then yo, they got a business. You can work yourself into like a percentage. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the bank do.
And they do.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's I don't know, man. It's just amazing, man. And that's another thing. People putting their money in banks as if them pennies you get in interest really means something. Like they just holding your money, investing it, tripling it, and giving you exactly what you put in there.
I knew a guy back in 2020 or 2021 that was teaching home banking. Like the whole concept of just basically building your own bank.
Yeah, you can do that with a life insurance policy.
True. You know, especially one that you can borrow from and put back. Yeah.
Yep.
You ain't lied.
But you got to put it back.
You ain't lied.
That's the hard part. A lot of people don't want to put it back. You won't put it back for yourself, but you'll pay that car payment though. You know what I'm saying? For that.
And you will, especially if you want to keep that car.
Nah, but especially if it's like a 2020, 2026 that everybody like, instead of saying, you know what, I'm gonna let this car go, I'm gonna buy me a car, and take the money I'm paying on my car to pay off this, you know what I'm saying, to pay off this loan. And once the loan paid, I can just go get me whatever year model is out then. You know what I'm saying? But now I got to keep this car because everybody need to know I'm still doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm not, even if I'm struggling, I'm gonna look like I'm not. Like, come on.
That's how it is. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Fake it till you make it.
But you can't do that with inflation. You can't fake that. Shit.
Let's talk about these gas prices.
You can have $1 million in the bank right now, but it ain't worth $1 million. Every time inflation rises, the value drops.
Because I swear $100 is like $10 to me now.
Yeah, because you could think, oh, I got $100, but really money is based off the value of what it costs to get groceries. So if the price of groceries go up, that $100 really ain't $100. It's whatever value. It's whatever value you can buy with it. So people sit with money in the bank thinking that, oh, I got X amount in the bank. You do, but you don't. And the longer it sit there and it ain't making money for you, it's depreciating in value. So, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah, I appreciate you showing that video, because I feel like that is a topic of conversation right now that I've been seeing around for a little minute.
Yeah.
And it's basically just playing each other against each other.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. Like that's what it is at the end of the day.
It's the same thing as the first video. It's just not men and women, it's just African Americans against Africans. Because imagine what would happen if we work together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I really feel like low key it's because us as Americans, we have more things mixed in than just black or just African. I really feel like that.
It could
like
be
we're
that,
not considered purebred, if you will. I was talking to an associate of mine, and I asked them, I was like, you know, like, so your people's black, right? But yeah, they're black, like black, like you go through the presidents, white. They black. Like you don't have no mixation in your line, none whatsoever.
Right.
And me, I do. Like my granddaddy is half Irish. He's Irish and black, and his mother was the generation of slavery. That was my granddaddy. And he was basically the product of, you know, the slave master hitting them slave quarters on the low. Found that out when I was like in my teens. Was a shocker. Because, you know, you hear about it, you done read about it, you don't watch movies about it, but to actually know that that is a part of your generation, mind-blowing. Mind-blowing.
It is. I mean, I imagine it is. I mean, I can't even say. I don't even trace it back, because why am I going to trace something back if I can't go there and be welcomed? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking, like, once I got enough to move, if I chose to move, I would trace back and I would actually go visit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And see, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Like, I have been in the process of tracing back my lineage, just because I feel like this. If you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going. And you're bound to be in that hamster wheel of generational curses. And I'm saying that because a lot of the stuff that my previous generation went through, I went through, and their generation went through the same thing. And I feel like in order for me to be able to break some of these, I got to know where I came from. That way I can kind of pinpoint what has transpired and what are the actual generational curses, and to see which ones that I can find solutions to. Just like you can have a woman that had a baby boy with some dude, and the son ain't never seen him, ain't never met him, but he went through a lot of the same things that his father went through, even though his father wasn't around. You know what I'm saying? We have it in our blood when it comes to certain things. even if we don't know what our people went through or who our people actually are, we still can mimic things that they went through or things that they are going through or just certain things that they just do. You kind of get what I'm saying?
I mean, I do. I kind of see it like what you're saying. To me, it makes sense if you're right back in the same type of environment. Like,
yeah.
Like if you're in the hood and you got certain deficiencies that make you want to go out there in the street and do certain stuff, then you probably will. If your dad made the same mistakes because he was in the same situation, you might make the same mistakes. But let's say you're in an environment where you're not in the hood. I think that weakness would turn into a strength if you're around the right environment. You know what I'm saying? Like the same curiosities or the want to chase money would be pointed in a different direction because you're not seeing dope boys and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing, you know what I'm saying? Let's say you're around people who sell stocks. You could want to be a stockbroker. You know what I'm saying? You might be a nasty, mean stockbroker, but you know what I'm saying? I think it's the interest versus just taking that absolute path. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, like let's say you're a female, your mom was fresh. Even though you may have those same.
What do you mean by fresh? My mother was fresh. What do you mean by that? No, I don't.
Mean like she dealt with a lot. Mean she dealt with a lot of different men. You know what I'm saying? But the men she dealt with in the environment she in, the men weren't worth anything. You know what I'm saying? So her life was terrible. But
why is it called fresh?
I'm just trying to use
fresh supposed to be like, you know, brand new or like, you know, cleansed. Why are we using it like that?
I don't know, but that's a word.
I know, but I'm saying that because it goes back to the English language being a whole spell. If fresh is supposed to be, we know the definition of fresh, right? So if we calling a woman fresh, how can it equal to?
Maybe it means something like fresh out of the womb. You acting like you're fresh, like you're new to this. So you're new to men. Like you're acting like you're new to men, like you've never seen one before. So you're intrigued, you're overly, you know what I'm saying? You're not within the womanly character. You're more giving.
What is considered the womanly character? Man.
I mean, it's subjective. It depends on what the character is. But what I was saying was you can take that same woman and let's say she's raised by totally different parents, wasn't nowhere near the environment, nowhere near the mom. She could be somewhere and she could be highly successful and she just dates men. Like she's one of those women with power who sees men as an object. You know what I'm saying? She's not going through negative things. She's more in control, but she still has that nature of dealing with men like that. You know what I'm saying? Which doesn't bring negative things into her life because of where she's at, but she practices some of the similar habits. You know what I'm saying? Based on the environment.
Okay.
I mean, that's how I look at it, man. That's how I.
And you are entitled to your opinion.
Yeah. I mean, because like where I see it, because think about it, that's how you get these guys from the hood that, you know what I'm saying, end up moving in with their aunt or their uncle or somewhere like that because their parents actually got them out of their environment and they end up being successful. You know what I'm saying?
Are you talking about Fresh Prince?
You say what?
Is you talking about Fresh Prince?
I mean, it could be Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I mean, that sounds like a story.
But I'm just being honest with you. Like, that's some shit that we need to get back to doing too. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. People will send their kids to basketball camp, but you don't never hear anybody say, "Oh, I just sent my son to space camp."
I have.
How many times have you heard it?
Part of it. Like we actually had scholarships in our community where some of the kids were able to go to different types of camps, space camp, something like a innovative technology camp, things like that outside of just basketball camp or a cheerleading camp or just a
Right.
regular summer program. You know, that's something that was widely done, you know, in my community. And I'm saying that because I was actually like active in things like that. I remember one summer, it was like a youth arts camp, called WSYAI or whatever. And at the time, it helped with a lot of emotions that I had. And it actually helped me not create, but really develop gifts and skills that I had. It was pretty much like a whole arts program. We pretty much, after I thought about it and like really did like some shadow work, I realized that they literally just took impoverished kids from the city, took them to a camp to talk about their life story and turn it into a play to make money. And that's what basically transpired. Although they did pay us, they paid us like $500, but we would get deducted for like stupid shit. So a lot of us ended up getting like 400, 450, 425, stuff like that, or whatever. Like I said, at the time it was good, but once I actually sat back and thought about it, it was almost like exploitation, if you will.
Well, let me ask you this: what else would you have done?
What do you mean?
Like, if you hadn't did that, what else would you have done?
Oh, shoot. The next year after that, I became a part of a program called the Kid Commerce Program. And that's where I got to understand what entrepreneurship was.
Now what I'm saying is, if you hadn't did the first program in that time span, what else would you have done?
Probably something else that they had that summer. Like I said, they always had a lot of. I made sure, like, once I really got into the city part, like I really inserted myself into a lot of like youth groups and camps and stuff like that to kind of keep myself.
Yeah. See, that's what I mean. Like without stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff to be.
Without stuff like that, yeah, shoot, I would have been in them streets.
That's what.
Which I still was, but I think that I would have been deeper into it to where it would have cost me something in the long run. And thank goodness that, because I ain't even gonna lie, I'm not gonna say I was a goody two or anything like that, but I know I've done some stuff in my life that I should have not been able to, slide by like I did.
Right. It's same with me. Like, I guess it was like a camp, but it was more like a work program during the summer. But it was more like we was doing like community service. We was like building abandoned houses that the homeless was like loitering in. Worked at a homeless shelter. This dude told us about computers, and like thinking about now, I'm thinking like, yo, you know what? Like, it didn't mean nothing to me then, but looking at it now, like how I respect homeless people, because even though I was younger then, like we would sit outside, me and my homeboy, and like they would be walking back and forth while they're getting their food or whatever. So every once in a while, you know what I'm saying, they would just talk to us. You know what I'm saying? Initially, we were young. We used to crack our jokes. But then, like, the more they started talking and just giving us advice and just keeping it real, you like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you never know who's gonna burn something from too.
These are people. You know what I'm saying? Just like the dude that told us computers. We used to give them hell every day. You know what I'm saying? We used to laugh at them, make jokes. But the one thing that I did do was I listened to everything he said. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might have laughed at him, but when he came into the room, my ears was open. You know what I'm saying? Because
some of that information you got to use later on in life.
Right. Because if I wasn't doing that, man, same thing you said. If I didn't do that all those summers, for one, I wouldn't have realized that I got a good work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Secondly, a lot of stuff I learned, you know what I'm saying, I still carry with me to this day. You know what I mean? So, it's just crazy, because if I try to take that out of my life, and think about any other option I had, none of the other options were good during the summer for me to be doing.
I know this is a little off script, but did you ever do the 4-H club?
Nah, 4-H, Boy Scouts, or none of that. So I couldn't do none of that.
Why?
I had to learn how to be a Boy Scout on my own. I just go in the woods and start fucking with shit. I ain't lying.
No. I just went fucking with shit. And along the way, it's like, damn.
I wanted to because a lot of my friends was in it. You know what I'm saying? Like they used to show up at school when they would have to like leave school and go do this little stuff. And they had their little uniforms. I wanted to do it. It just wasn't in the budget. So when I would get home, you know, I go in the woods and do stuff. You know what I'm saying? Break branches and just stuff. You know what I'm saying?
You were out there exploring. That's what you were supposed to be doing. I wish a lot of these kids would do that today. No, I remember getting up at like 8:30 at the house by 9 a.m. on the weekend and stay gone until the street lights come on.
Right.
Just out there literally exploring. Like your parents don't even know you on the other side of town, but you on the other side of town.
Other side of town.
Yeah. As long as we came in when the street lights come on. Look, everything was what it is. But shoot, as long as your parents ain't fully find out, you was good. So you assume that we could.
That's how I was, boy. My bike was like a car. I'm talking about. I moved to a small town in the 3rd grade. But before that, like once I moved to the country, man, it was different. I mean, everybody knew everybody, and I was actually in the community. Before that, man, we was in like a decent sized city. And my mom, you know what I'm saying, she worked at night. My stepdad, he did what he did. And so, you know what I'm saying, so I got out of school, I would hop on my bike with my homeboy. I'm talking about like we be gone. Like everywhere. I'm talking about, man, shoot. Just doing stuff.
Probably a lucky kid too.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we were.
Yes, I know about it. There was the times. I ain't even gonna lie. There was the times. Seriously, if I could go back to those times and really know the information I know now, I really think like I would be able to experience certain things earlier than what I did to be able to push myself forward into like another timeline.
Yeah, I think my biggest issue was I was afraid to show people how smart I was because everybody thought being smart wasn't cool.
Mm-hmm.
That was my worst. That was the worst mistake I ever made. I'm talking about even when my teachers would, because like I never did that on my work. You know what I'm saying? Either I didn't do it, or when I did do it, like I did good on it. You know what I'm saying? But my teachers always come like, well, man, what's going on? Like they used to just ask me like, what's going on? Like, is there something you need to talk about? Because why don't you?
They wouldn't assimilate you, or in a way you be fully receptive to the information, and it was just boring as fuck. Like, and I think that was on purpose.
No,
but
I liked it, man. Like I did the same thing when I went back to college. When I went
really,
back to college,
I remember you saying that.
My teachers used to call me out for that shit though. They was not letting that shit slide. They're like, yeah, here's my office hours, and if you need any help, you know, they named out a couple of other students and Matthew too. And I'm sitting in the back with all the clowns. You know what I'm saying? They back there laughing, joking on their phones and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm the older cat, but at the time I looked a lot younger. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't even know how old I was. So I'm just sitting back there chilling. They're like, oh well, dang dude, you smart, ain't you? You know how they be saying it, but they be trying to be funny.
No, I'm
smart. But look,
what really made me think that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say what really made me realize that was an actual thing was I was in the 3rd grade. You know, you have the end of grade testing. You know, you rarely have people that scored like 4s. And it was this little boy. When I say every day he would fall asleep, like he stayed asleep. And at the end of the year, we found out this boy made 2 4s. Like, and he was just looking like, and when she said, you made 2 points, he was looking around like, damn, what did I do this shit? I did this shit. Like, low key, like, dude, you had me fooled. You had us all fooled. We all around like, how you did that?
And it's a lot of black people like that. You know what I'm saying? Young. Cause like I remember when I was in high school, like I ain't gonna lie, I used to smoke weed at the bus stop. I'd be high. I get to school, I'd be high as hell. I had long braids, I'm talking real long, like to my shoulders. So like one day I'd take it all out. The next day I'd be in there plaiting it back up. Or I'd be high or I'd be asleep. My teacher every day he'd be like, Matt, he'd be like, nice eyes. He would just smile at me and laugh. But cause he know that when it comes time to take the test,
yeah,
I'm gonna pass it. You know what I'm saying? But with the same conversation, like my whole career, like, Matt, why you be afraid to, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I just don't want to deal with, I don't want to be your poster child because, and I think that's something that a lot of black people be afraid of too. Like, I don't want to be the person that you put out there and say, well, if Matt can do it, anybody can do it. I don't want to be that guy. I just want to do good for myself and get the hell on. You know what I'm saying? And
you want to do what you got to do and move in silence. You don't really want no attention.
Right. But I miss a very valuable opportunity to, you know what I'm saying, set a good example and lead. You know what I'm saying? I really did. So, you know, I kind of, if I could take anything back from my education period, it would just be joining the clubs that they kept trying to get me to join. You know what I'm saying? Speak when they want me to speak. Raise my hand. You know what I'm saying? Raise my hand. Read.
Go back to the conversation that we had earlier of, you know, just not really showing your skills because of you being afraid of, you know, being taken out of your environment. Did we just speak about that earlier?
And now, well, I ain't gonna say now, but in most of my adult life, I spent trying to get out of my environment. So, you know, I had the opportunity. I just didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? Because I probably could have. And then what made it worse was my older sisters, like both of them did like incredible in school, in high school. Mm-hmm. So they saw me, and you know, they expected me to
they had already had expectations.
Yeah, to be somewhat like them. And I'm showing up. I'm high every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm asleep, but the grades is there. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, we know you can do the work, but like, why you just don't want to do it? My high school experience was like, I was cool enough to be a cool kid and smart enough to be a nerd. And I stayed to myself enough to look like the type of person that is antisocial. So it was a very weird experience because I was cool with everybody. The kid that got picked on, I was cool with him. The popular kid, I was cool with them. The people that nobody really want to talk to, the people that walked around with trench coats and everybody thought was going to shoot up the school and stuff like that, I was cool with them. You know what I'm saying? Like for real.
Like, I was cool. A chameleon, you blended in everywhere. If you really
I was cool on the whole spectrum because I don't know. I guess I just possess all those characteristics. I just never wanted to be cool. Like that was the one thing I never really wanted to be. I didn't want to be. And as far as being a jock, I wasn't super athletic, so I couldn't have been a jock. But I mean, I played sports, but I wasn't on that level where I was praised for my athletic ability. But you know, I was cool with them. You know what I'm saying? I hung around them, like we would play basketball together and stuff like that on the weekends. So you know what I'm saying? I was still accepted. You know what I mean? But like I never like really done a lot of the parties or you know just the other things. Like it would always be me and my homeboy. We would just go do something different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. That was me. But in hindsight, I wish I would have did a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
I wish I would have been a little bit more active or what have you. But it is what it is. Everything happens for a reason. And it's the reason why I feel like I didn't fully fit in anywhere, but I could maneuver anywhere.
Right.
Yeah. I get that now.
I really see that now. And like looking at certain type of roles and jobs, like I ain't gonna say what I could have been, but
records.
I know it was a lot of really, really interesting things that I could have been doing with my life right now if I had allowed myself to be seen. You know what I'm saying? One of the main reasons why I'm doing this now is because, you know what I'm saying, like that's always been a hindrance to me was, you know, keeping myself to myself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I got to get out of that because it's certain things I want to do where, you know, I'm going to have to step up. I'm going to have to get in front of a group of people. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to express how I feel, even if a lot of people don't agree. I may have to convince somebody of something that they don't want to, you know what I'm saying, they don't want to believe in, or they don't want to just look at that point of view. So, you know, for me, this is a launching pad for a lot of other things that I want to do. And, you know, in a way, it's just like teaching myself, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, not to be afraid. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we ain't got a lot of commenters or nothing like that. But even if it was, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would have to learn how to deal with criticism because people ain't gonna always agree with what you say. You know what I mean? People gonna find stuff to talk about. So, you know, if I don't do it now, I won't never do it.
I already get a little criticism now. Somebody watched the show and told me that I shouldn't be smoking.
I smoke.
Like, it's not cool for a female to be smoking in public.
Okay. Well, I guess that's their opinion.
Yeah, it is.
I ain't got no problem with you on the show. If you smoke, you smoke. You know what I'm saying? I was just watching Cam Newton. He smoked a cigar the whole time he was talking. Dave Chappelle smoked cigarettes multiple times during his show.
Oh, yeah. Shoot, he might even ask that. You got a cigarette? Yeah, let me get one. What are those? What are those?
You got to be who you are. You know what I'm saying? Imagine you want to smoke and you sitting here talking like you're not even gonna be able to, you know what I'm saying, be relaxed. Or sometimes the subject may go to something that you be like, dang, that's heavy.
Yeah, let me light a cigarette on that one, cause
Right. And I ain't lie, I do that shit quite often when I start thinking about mistakes I made and stuff like that. Like, let me light a cigarette.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because now I gotta put myself in the right spot to talk about this in the right way. You know what I mean? So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, you're good with that. But I mean, everybody. But
I know I am. I just wanted to mention that, like, it is what it is. People are always going to have their opinion.
Well, since they watch the show, are they a subscriber?
Exactly. Did you actually subscribe?
Right.
Probably not.
Right.
Anywho, back on the farm.
But we're gonna get that up too. That's next on the list. I really ain't even been like, I'd be wanting to have strong content and a diverse diverse conversation so that it's plenty. Like, if somebody just catches tonight, they can go back through all the other videos when they got time and we're not talking about the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's what I've really been working on. And who knows, this could be like something that don't even take off till like a year from now. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't been discovered. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's here.
You'll be able to go back and see how, you know, things have developed, because after practicing and going on, you find new ways to do different things. Definitely.
Right. But
which it was some stuff I wanted to talk to you about on the outside of this. This won't get to just some suggestions and whatnot that I think you would be susceptible to.
Well, yo, we can like we already getting close to our time limit for tonight because I know it is a holiday weekend. So with that being said, we're going to wrap it up. We appreciate anybody who watches this video. We ask that, you know, if you enjoy the content or you want to comment, to please like and subscribe. That just lets us know that we are, you know,
like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say let us know that we doing what's right, because we gonna do what we want to do anyway. But it's just good to see people, you know what I'm saying, joining, you know what I'm saying, even if you don't show up all the
interacting and listening.
Right. And you see us, you check us out. This is a good way to get notified when we on.
Mm-hmm.
So you got anything to say before we go?
No, just appreciate y'all listening. And we will be back next Friday on the same thing, just a different day.
Definitely. All right. Good night, y'all.
Night night.